Flavio Bolsonaro pushes for an inquiry into Master, but did not sign the first request for investigation. And now there's a session happening at the National Congress. Look at what Otoni de Paula did. He challenged, where are my glasses? He challenged Flavito salary kickback scheme. Shall we take a look? Pay attention, pay attention. Go ahead and hit that like button. Flavinho
signed the inquiry request. Criticizing Flavinho Bolsonaro means you support Lula. Is that right? Criticizing Flavinho Bolsonaro for his lies and deceptions means you support Lula? No. Look at the level of humiliation we've reached. Look, I did take money from the biggest bank fraudster in Brazil, but Lula took it too.
But Maitele took it too. What a shame.
I robbed, but Joãozinho robbed too. But I also robbed Pedrinho. Look at the level we've reached. Now Flavio Bolsonaro is backing the Banco master inquiry. I even thought it was nice, but I just want to ask my friends here in the Liberal Party to remember that he hasn't signed yet, okay?
That's why the Banco Master inquiry needs to happen. The Brazilian people deserve to know the whole truth.
Flavinho signed the inquiry request.
Whoa, put it there. Flavio Rachadinha signed the inquiry request, Flavio. He keeps saying he wants to, but he doesn't want to, and he doesn't sign. He has to sign, hey, otherwise it looks bad, right? And he's being pressured over there, you know? If it keeps going like this, he'll have to sign. I wouldn't be surprised if with all the pressure and trouble he's facing, he ends up signing. Otherwise, it looks bad. But it's clear he doesn't want to. It's obvious he doesn't want to. He's just blowing smoke, but he doesn't want a parliamentary inquiry. Because we already know he even had a meeting with Daniel Vocaro. So he doesn't want it. In fact, Congressman Lindenberg Farias also spoke just a little while ago at the National Congress session, which is the joint session of deputies and senators right now. Pay attention here.
Your Excellency won't be able to sit on this inquiry. Dr. Ulysses had a phrase that said, Your Excellency, the fact. There's no way. There's no way we won't set up this inquiry, this joint congressional inquiry. I'm speaking here as the government's deputy leader. We're not putting on a show. The whole situation is very serious. What we saw President Alcolumbre here in that backroom deal at the last Congress meeting, everyone hugging PL and Centro that fell apart. Some even thought they traded the sentencing rules PL wanted for Banco Master. No, that was already Flavio Bolsonaro, scared and cornered. Because this was no small thing, President Davi Alcolumbre. Lie after lie. First, he kept saying he'd never known Vocaro. Flavio Bolsonaro's phone number showed up on Vocaro's phone. He said, no, I don't know him. And he kept denying it, and then he had to take it back. Then he said, I met him in 2024. There were no accusations at that time. He said he went to Daniel Vocaro's house, and the next day, Daniel Vocaro was already out. He had already been arrested by the federal police. That's why, Your Excellency, President Davi Alcolumbre, look, this is a legal matter. Here are the constitutional grounds. But it's important that this House understands you won't be able to hold it back. Your Excellency won't be able to hold it back. It will happen. I saw more facts. I find the PL speech interesting, saying everything has to come out. All Eduardo Bolsonaro has to do is say what he did with the 61 million from Vocaro, which went to the Ravengate Fund. Eduardo Bolsonaro's fund. It's his lawyer who manages it, Paulo Calixto. Your Excellency, President Davi Alcolumbre, have you already thought about the film's production company? They say the whole film was shot in Brazil. So why was that money transferred? Why did 61 million reais go to the fund in Texas? So if you gentlemen want an investigation, all Eduardo Bolsonaro has to do is start saying where that money came from. And what about the 3 or 6 million? because the first transfer hits the funds account in Texas on February 14th, right after they bought a house in the same city in Texas for $3 million, $6 million. No, President Davi Alcolumbre. I make this appeal because Your Excellency will not succeed. Other sessions of Congress will occur. The pressure will increase. The pressure from the streets will increase. Enough. It's time for us to sit down and handle this maturely. The federal police are conducting an investigation. The Federal Revenue Service is conducting an investigation. Now, that photo of the backroom deal in the last session of Congress, that was a shame. And that creates an obligation. The Constitution requires it. The streets do too. And the facts oblige Your Excellency, President Davi Alcolumbre, not to sit on it and to immediately open this joint congressional inquiry.
Your Excellency, are you going to open it or not? One thing is certain. There are a lot of people from the Liberal Party who are putting on a show who don't want the inquiry into Banco Master. But E is shouting that she wants it. One of them is Flavio Bolsonaro himself, because until the beginning of this live stream, he hadn't signed yet, but he was being pressured to sign. He doesn't want to, but he'll end up having to sign. The thing is, and Davi Alcolumbre, is he going to open it or not? Because two people can open it. Davi Alcolumbre, President of the Federal Senate, and also Hugo Mota, President of the Chamber of Deputies. And from all indications, not even Davi Alcolumbre seems to want it from all indications. And not even Hugo Mota wants it. Why is that? Davi Alcolumbre switched sides overnight against Lula, according to journalist Malu Gaspar. She said that Davi Alcolumbre went to Lula to ask him to interfere with the federal police to protect him. And since Lula said no, Davi Alcolumbre then worked to reject Jorge Mesias, who was nominated by Lula for the position of justice on the federal Supreme Court to replace the retired former minister Luis Barroso. He worked to reject Jorge Mesias. In over 100 years, it was the first time that a presidential nominee was rejected in the Senate. According to behind-the-scenes reports, it was because of Davi Alcolumbre, since Lula didn't agree to protect him. And the other blow from Davi Alcolumbre to the government was exactly the overturning of Lula's veto on the sentencing guidelines. Lula vetoed it. And Davi Alcolumbre went ahead and scheduled a session in the National Congress, since he's the only one who can open a session in the National Congress. And only a session of the National Congress can validate or overturn a presidential veto. He arranged to overturn Lula's veto on the sentencing guidelines. So, by all indications, he won't open a parliamentary inquiry into Banco Master. Period. Now you ask me, Andrea Gonçalves, what about Hugo Mota? Can he open it too? Can't he? He can. There's also a request there. There's a request from the PL, a request from the government, from the PT, from PSOL, and everything else. But he's not going to open it. From all indications, he's afraid too. The senator, what's his name? That senator from the Senate's Taxation and Budget Committee, Renan Calheiros. Renan Calheiros said that Hugo Mota made an amendment that was approved, which benefited Mocaro's group. And that at the same time, Hugo Mota's relative received more than 140 million reais from Banco Master. She got a loan from Banco Master and never paid it back. And everything is just fine and nothing happened to her over 140 million. The senator suspects then that this was a bribe for the help that Hugo Mota gave with the approval of this amendment. Could it be Andrea Gonçalves? If that's really the case, obviously Hugo Mota won't in any way set up any kind of parliamentary inquiry. He could suddenly end up under investigation himself. And it's the same thing with Flavio. Flavio, huh? Really? Did he? He did? I just got word here that Flavio just signed. After pressure from all sides, he signed. Otherwise, it would look bad. He says one thing but does another. But he's signing so that he himself will be investigated. Because there's no way Flavio Bolsonaro is involved up to his neck in this whole situation, right? So to try to, improve his situation a little bit, he's scheduled a visit with Donald Tranquera next week. Yeah, Andrea Gonçalves, look here. Oh my God. In the midst of the crisis with Volcaro, Flavio is going to travel to the United States to try to meet with Donald Trump. Exactly that. Flavio Bolsonaro with Eduardo Bolsonaro there is working behind the scenes with Donald Trump's advisors to see if Donald Trump will meet with Flavio Bolsonaro. For what, Andrea? To create a smokescreen. Do you understand? To try to shift the focus, right? Away from the center of this whole situation involving Flavio Bolsonaro's direct involvement with Daniel Volcaro. Then they say that next week he's going there. There are people behind the scenes already saying, Andrea Gonçalves. Flavio is going to run away. Soon Flavio won't come back and will claim he's being persecuted or whatever, just like Eduardo Bolsonaro, and he doesn't come back. Well, from all indications, he has money. He can live there in the United States. He can live anywhere in the world, actually. If the 60 million, more than 60 million went into Eduardo Bolsonaro's lawyer's account in the United States, then he has money, right? He even has money to maneuver and lobby. So that Donald Trump, through his advisors, receives Flavio Bolsonaro in this context that we are explaining. And all of this is to create a smokescreen. Andrea Gonçalves, he's going to run away. Andrea Gonçalves, he's going to run away. Andrea Gonçalves. No, not yet. He won't run away, not yet. Ele não vai fugir ainda não. Not yet. Well, at least I don't think so yet. It's not possible that he's even more impotent than his father and his brother, Eduardo Bolsonaro, and now he's going to run away too. If he does that, things are way worse than we think. But I don't think so yet. Actually, he's going there to try to lobby, to try to get attention, to create a smokescreen and distract from what's really important. But I tell. I'm letting you know now, my source warned me. They're going to drop a bomb right after he comes back from the United States. If he thinks he's going to take the spotlight off the eye of the storm he's involved in with Daniel Volcaro, he's not. Whoa, he's not. That's the situation. Why? Because he should. And there are a lot of things against Flavio Bolsonaro of involvement with Daniel Volcaro, with Daniel, or maybe not. No, I know. Oops. Yeah, no. There are no innocents here, guys. Obviously, I know that the herd is going to believe it. Donald Trump. Oh, see? Flavio with Donald Tranquera. If Donald Tranquera receives it, there's that detail. And so on and so forth. Obviously, there will be people who will rant about this situation. But obviously, there are those of us who will show the truth and show that things aren't quite like that. Are you going to run? No, you won't. This guy can't run away now. For God's sake, it's too early to run away. But I wouldn't doubt it either. He claims persecution and won't return, just like Eduardo Bolsonaro. Again, there's money there, right? Oh, let's check out another statement now. Have you liked the live stream yet, my dear? No. Don't let me talk by myself. Okay, guys, please. Oh, you sheep. Nice. Let's go, nice.
Do you know Amancio Marcelo? Amancio Marcelo is Bolsonaro's new son. And I'll explain why Amancio Marcelo is Bolsonaro's new son. Jair Renan, number 04, scammed BRB, the Bank of Brasilia, another scam at BRB. And he asked for money as if he were this guy here, Amancio Marcelo. And now he's a defendant in a case of money laundering, false statements, and using fake documents. It's another one of Bolsonaro's sons involved. with organized crime. But right now, nobody tops Flavio Bolsonaro. Now it's known that Flavio Bolsonaro used public money. The day after Vocaro was released and put under house arrest with an ankle monitor, Flavinho Bolsonaro went to visit him. He likes to visit people in jail. From his father to the militiamen in Rio de Janeiro, the murderers of Judge Patricia Scioli, the murderers of Marielle Franco, Adriano da Nóbrega. He has a thing, a really strong thing for crime. And then he went to visit Vocaro, according to him, for what? To end their relationship. He went to negotiate the end of this relationship, which was a relationship that had generated more than 60 million reais, supposedly for Bolsonaro's movie. Interestingly, he handled all the money negotiations via WhatsApp. But the termination of this contract, which no one has seen until today, had to be done immediately and in person with the criminal wearing an ankle monitor. Man, you have to be really stupid to believe a story like that or try to say no. Look, at least he's admitting it and saying that he regrets it. Come on, he says he took money from Banco Master from Vocaro when Vocaro was already considered one of the biggest corrupt people in the country even before he was arrested. Everybody knew BRB had already tried to buy Banco Master, and the central bank had already prohibited the purchase. We were already talking about Banco Master. We were already talking about Vocaro. The day before he was arrested, Flavio Bolsonaro said, "Brother, I'll be with you no matter what happens." And then it happened. He went to jail. 11 days in jail. When he was trying to escape to Dubai, he was at Guarulhos International Airport. And then the federal police went there and arrested Mr. Vocaro. And then what happens? He was released 11 days later. And the day after Vocaro is placed under house arrest, Flavinho goes there, buys a ticket, pays with public money, leaves Brasilia, and goes to São Paulo to meet poor Vocaro. Did he owe something or not? Or what he said, whatever happens, it had nothing to do with it. And couldn't he just send a message to Vocaro? Brother, that's enough. I'm going to give you back the 60 million you gave me. I'll give it back now. I don't need it for the movie anymore.
Lionel, now you're asking too much, aren't you, Lionel? You're asking Flavio kickback to give back 60 million to Daniel Vocaro? No, Lionel, he would never do that in his life, Lionel. There's no way. The guy went there to collect, Daniel. Look, Lionel, the guy went there to collect. Oh, my brother, I didn't want to press you for it, but you gave me the right to ask, my dear brother. I really need the money and the guy asked for it. So you want the guy to give the money back from the scheme? Lionel, don't let it. Don't fall for fake news, Lionel, because there's no way. When does a thief ever give back stolen money? When? When he's caught red-handed, right? Then when the police are breathing down the neck of the thug, the thief, the criminal, then he has to give the money back. No, I know that Flavio is kind of in that situation, right? By the way, let me tell you something. Hey, Andre Mendonça. Hey, Minister, Your Excellency, put an ankle monitor on him. Go to the United States where his brother is already on the run. Flavio goes to the United States, put an ankle, an ankle monitor on him during the exchange program. Put it on because otherwise soon he'll run away saying, I'm being persecuted by the dictatorship. No, but then it made things complicated. How is he going to say he's being persecuted by Andre Mendonça's dictatorship? Guys, do you think Andre Mendonça has become a communist? Because everyone says so, right? I'm being persecuted by Alexandre de Moraes' communist dictatorship, blah, blah, blah. How are they going to say they're being persecuted and by the dictatorship of the Bolsonaro supporter, Andre Mendonça? There's no way. Or could it be that Andre Mendonça has become a communist? Even more serious. No, it's not Andre Mendonça. It's a clone. Andre Mendonça was kidnapped. That one over there is a chrono, a clone. It's a clone of Andre Mendonça. My God. It's because they say that about Lula, guys. That's why I'm joking. Like, I'm not going to cry here because I'm not a Bolsonaro supporter. They say that Lula isn't really Lula, that Lula has already died, and that Lula, the president of the republic, is actually a clone. So they keep saying that. Soon the herd will say that Andre Mendonça was kidnapped. And the one who's there is an artificial intelligence clone? What? How can Flavio claim persecution? Flavio persecuted? Because he's got it coming. And Andre Mendonça will have to go after him. There's no other way. There will be nowhere to run. And we're already giving fair warning here. Andre Mendonça put an ankle monitor on the persecuted one. No. Way. Have some patience, for heaven's sake. No, let's be serious. Let's be serious. How can you be serious with a Bolsonarist, really? There's no way. Even Davi Alcolumbre just gave the answer. Whether there will be a CPI or not. Shall we see his answer? Look at his answer.
This clarifies that the matters of the agenda will be read at the discretion of the president. Furthermore, the same Senate rules state that requests for the reading of matters must be subject to a decision by the president. Therefore, the timing of the reading is up to the chair of the National Congress Board. Having made this technical and procedural clarification, this presidency would also like to ask for the sensitivity of the Congress members regarding the reason of the convening of this congressional session with a previously established agenda composed of 4 provisions of a single V to the Budget Guidelines Law.
All right, what did he say? That it's his discretionary call as head of the board? What does discretionary mean? He has the freedom to do it or not to do it. And he said he won't do it and won't sign off on opening the Banco Master CPI. Period. That's the situation. And why? Most likely there's something shady going on. There's something shady. He has his own vulnerabilities. Maybe they're involved, the allies, the accomplices, and the author or non-author of the proposal himself. In this case, Davi Alcolumbre. That's the situation. He said no. There won't be a joint parliamentary inquiry. And that's it. It's over. And he's the one who decides he's not going to put it up for a vote. Then you ask me, okay, can anything be done, Andrea Gonçalves? You can take it to the Supreme Court, right? But I don't think the Supreme Court will get involved. No. Because if they step in later, people will call it judicial activism. It's judicial activism, so they won't interfere. The Supreme Court won't get involved, and that's how it will stay. The federal police, who are already investigating, will handle it. And there are people who say, Andrea Gonçalves, let me tell you something. Do you think this movie will be shown in Brazil? Will it play in Brazil? Girl, I don't know, because like the courts have already been called, right? It might be advertising, right? From Bolsonaro, that oddball in the Bolsonaro family. Besides the whole situation involving whether money did or didn't go into the movie. Now, the electoral court is complicated, right? Because we have the president and the vice president there, both Bolsonaro supporters. The president of Brazil's Superior Electoral Court today is Nunes Marques. The vice president is Andre Mendonça. If it were Alexander de Moraes, I would say clearly and calmly to you that this movie wouldn't be shown before the election. Yes, Andrea Gonçalves, yes. Yes. But since it's Nunes Marques and Andre Mendonça who are there, I wouldn't be surprised if the movie gets released before the elections. And it will be a big piece of political campaign propaganda from the Bolsonaro family, especially Flavio Bolsonaro. But there's a catch. It will already arrive burned and fried. Not fried. Sometimes fried is even good. It will arrive burned and smelling bad. The documentary is not an example. It just came out now. The documentary came out last week. Before the movie, the documentary about the movie came out. And then the movie, there was a documentary about Bolsonaro's life and so on, Italy and stuff. It was supposed to be, the creme de la creme, a bunch of federal deputies, senators, governors. Everyone was supposed to be there. Only Bia Kicis showed up, the Bolsonaro congresswoman. So that's how it was. It was a failure on credit, debit, Pixel. Not even Nicole's showed up there. Nicola Chupetinha. So, The movie, if they let it play here and the court doesn't block it, it's already going to come out tainted and reeking, and with a huge cloud of suspicion hanging over it. A lot of people won't even want anything to do with the movie, especially because when I see that man's wig, it really bothers me. How is that a feature film from a big production with over 100 million reais? There's no way. There's no way, my legend. There's no way. In fact, the company that was hired never even made a movie before. Representative Lionel Hatt talked about this again. There. No, what is this, people? I've already told you, this has front men all over it. It's one giant front. For what? Money laundering. Look here.
In the case of Golpe, Gol,
Or Go Up?
I don't know.
Golpe is the production company, but now it's facing another controversy. This time, Flavio Bolsonaro's marketing guy is involved. Karina da Gama, help us understand. Karina da Gama would be the CEO of Golpe, which is or Go Up, the production company behind Bolsonaro's movie. And she's never made a movie in her life. This production company and Karina have never made any movies. It's the first time they're venturing into this scene. But you know that Go Up is also one of Karina's companies. Do you know what Karina's other company is? It's the NGO Instituto Conhecer Brazil, which signed a contract with the São Paulo City Hall under Ricardo Nunes for 108 million reais. This contract is now being investigated by the civil police of the state of São Paulo. I mentioned this yesterday. And there are 16 million reais in invoices that were canceled. So the company issued an invoice, received the money from the São Paulo City Hall, and then canceled that invoice. This is being investigated now. And then Karina opens Go Up and goes to produce Bolsonaro's movie without ever having filmed absolutely anything before. And Go Up is the one that receives the money from Vorcaro, 60 million reais. And this deal is made through Entre Investimentos e Participações, which is even linked to the TCC and also the Italian mafia, which was involved in that federal police operation Hidden Carbon. So we have this production company which has never produced any film, which has never shot any film, with plenty of resources to supposedly make Bolsonaro's movie.
That's the case with Go
Or Go Up, I'm not sure. Scam.
Right? It seems like that's the name of the production company.
It's Go Up, which is actually Go Scam, you know? Karina, the producer of the movie, used to be an advisor to Mario Frias, who made a contract with the São Paulo City Hall under the Bolsonaro supporter, 108 million, and who received 8 million in earmark funding. For God's sake. And also, the São Paulo City Hall paid for Karina's event, 3 million, 5 million. It's just millions. Millions here, millions there, millions here, there, here, there, here, there, there. It's all money laundering. And the fool is paying the bill, which is us. Why? Because it's public money from the Banco master fraud, over 50 billion reais. And there's the scammer Flavio Bolsonaro, who says it's not public money and that we're idiots.
Hey, Flavio.
The walls are closing in on you. And what do I think? I think it's not enough, because this is just the beginning. But yeah, Andrea, to sum up, does the movie get approved or not? What do you think? Because you can appeal the Superior Electoral Court's decision to where, Andrea? To where? To the Federal Supreme Court. And the final decision is up to the Federal Supreme Court. Does it get approved or not? What do you think? Does he run away or not? The Rachadinha, actually, it's not Rachadinha anymore. It's Mesadão. Rachadinha is in the past. The future and present of Flávio is Mesadão from Vovó Carão. Let's see here. Correa went to court. He doesn't want the movie to be shown. Pay attention.
The movie is a habit. This is stolen.
Many ask, if there was a Lula-themed carnival, why can't there be a movie about Bolsonaro? Is the PT, which is a progressive government, attacking a cultural agenda in the name of electoral issues?
The difference is obvious. A samba school puts on carnival, and this carnival that the samba school puts on, the one that's even funded with legitimate money, where all the samba schools receive the same amount, they chose a theme. That's one thing. The other is making, during the election month, a film with stolen money. Stolen from Banco Master Vocaron's bank, where Flavio Bolsonaro asked him for money for the film, 143 million reais. What film is this? This is a fund, folks. This has nothing to do with the film. The film is just a front. This here is stolen. It left Brazil and went to this fund. The federal police are already pursuing the fund and money. If it weren't for their obvious bad faith in stealing money from the Brazilian people, including retirees, it would go straight to the film and not to the fund. And in this fund, Eduardo Bolsonaro is involved. And secondly, talking about culture. Bolsonaro, a Bolsonaro supporter talking about culture. They ended the Ministry of Culture. This Mario Frias was the so-called Minister of Culture. What they did was try to destroy Brazilian culture, which is what they always do. So honestly, that argument doesn't hold up. It's an attempt to dodge a serious accusation, which is the accusation of misappropriation, of stealing public money that left master and went to the Bolsonaro family's funds. And also to make sure the far right had money for the campaign, it's no coincidence that Bolsonaro's brother-in-law gave 5 million, 3 for Bolsonaro's campaign and 2 for Tarcísio de Freitas' campaign. Banco Master existed to commit corruption and help the far right's plan in Brazil. They were caught red-handed. And now it's lie after lie. The movie is a sham. That's stolen money.
That's money that's been swiped, diverted, right? Switched around. You get it? Swiped. That's it. So what's the problem? What is it? What did I do to you? No, for God's sake, help me out. Like the live stream, the Central just told me, Andre, people aren't liking the live stream. What did I do to you? No, if I did something to you, just tell me. Oh, did I go to the thief's house? I didn't. It was Flavio who went to the thief's house. It wasn't me, guys. It was Flavio who went to the thief's house to ask the thief for money. It was Flavio who sent the audio to the thief asking the thief for money. It wasn't me. Help me. Like the live stream, for God's sake, leave your comment. Don't let me talk to myself. Don't let me talk to myself. Please, please. If not,